timer started, window closed, and click into the game. I did it. Jesus. Hello, Gab. Welcome. I'm surprised that I wasn't more late, to be honest, so I'm proud of myself for only being 15 minutes late. I feel like the entire world was stacked against me. And our internet was fucking up earlier. You can't imagine the quality on everything we tried to watch. I was like, uh-oh. People are gonna start thinking I'm making excuses.
Hey, listen!
Love. Welcome to Love Town, Pink. How was it? You love Love Town, right? How could you not love Love Town? Tomari loves Love Town. Tomari loves everyone except bad people. Good, because you don't have any other choice. A second James Somerton apology video hit YouTube. Go on, do tell. I've not been keeping up with any internet drama, so I'm so glad I have you to keep me informed. Although I don't know how he could possibly think that apologizing would do anything at this point. If I was him, I would just vanish into nothing. I would change my name, leave the country. Hello, Sans. More the same due to seriously trying to relaunch himself instead of just disappearing forever. That's what he should do. Hello, Kiro. I am, well, you know, Impreg is my legacy. That's just like I have to accept it. There's no turning back now. Although, I probably should get started if I want to make any progress in this game, because I'm doing a shorter timer. Either way. As soon as I click my little save file and I see the little thumbnail, I'm like, damn, that's such a good illustration. Internet drama. Hello, Sans. Yes, the internet drama is more plagiarism. Of course, you like the illustration of a cup. Look. From this angle, he has like a Reagan Arataka vibes, right? Am I wrong? I'm lying down. Hold on, I need to get my microphone closer, I guess. I hate how. What, Kiro? What? I'm having none of it. I'm lying down in the rear seat. The chief's driving, so I can't read his facial expressions. Why did you save me? Well, I rushed to the scene since the house was on fire, and when I got there, I found some men ganging up on a girl. And as a police officer, it's my duty to protect and serve you. Yeah, right. Now, don't be ridiculous. We know that's not true. I thought you were the enemy. The chief guffaws. I love that word. Exhaling loudly with each ha, 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 ha. True, the police does have a cooperative relationship with the church, but it's not like the police's main duty is to serve the church. Well, it's to protect the town, is it? So it's for convenience. We want to protect the town, and if that means picking sides, we'll pick them. So about the fire. We're investigating. We are, but the homeowner... Pacifica? Yeah, I think she kind of had it coming, honestly. Oh. Reagan's a spirit cop? No, he's not. Supernaturally even. Oh, of course, Kiro. Oh, what does the stream title mean? It's an obscure band reference. TTNG is a math rock band. This town needs guns. I just felt like that fit. And it's an excuse to talk about this town needs guns. It's a great band name, and they're awesome, and their music is beautiful. I disagree, Sans. I can't. What, Kiro? Math rock is cool. I like complicated guitar parts. And sick drums that are all like swingy and jazzy and shit. It's cool. When you live that luxuriously, you have to expect at least a little arson. He has a point. Pacifica's not a bad person. That's right, Pacifica's strong, smart, well-connected, and most of all, she protects me. Well, in that case, the church isn't bad either, huh? She's not like the church. Nah, doing business on a scale like hers while also keeping the church at bay isn't as easy as you think. You gotta do some pretty messed up stuff to manage that. That can't be the case. She's probably trying to seize control of the town away from the priest. That's what they've been saying since forever, at least. Not only does my head hurt, now my heart's throbbing too. I don't want to hear it, I really don't. There's a side of Pacifica that I don't know. A side I'm too afraid to know, but what I'm most afraid of is losing my trust in her. I want to believe her. Everyone's whispering that she's seriously vying for the top spot of the food chain. She's got the strongest bodyguard in town on her side, after all. Oh, surely not. Pacifica wouldn't just use Sayoko, right? I want to believe in Pacifica too. So that's what people think about my relationship with Pacifica. Oh, Jesus Christ! God! Ah!
The Dark Wolfies just resubscribed for 6 months. My money don't jiggle, jiggle. It folds. I like to see you wiggle, wiggle. For sure it makes me want to dribble, dribble. You know, riding in my Fiat, you really have to see it 6 feet 2 in a compact, no slack, but luckily the seats go back. I got a knack to relax in my mind sipping some red wine.
Thank you, Wolfies. That was beautiful. And you're right, Kiro. Math is never cool, but rock is always cool. So, I think it balances out. I'm just... Pacifica's cool people should never do anything bad, not my queen. Well, she would do bad things, just not to us. Because she loves us, right? She loves Sayoko. How am I? I'm good. I've had a chaotic day. Terrible day, some might think, but I'm here playing Ghostpia, so it's better. And also, part of the reason why I was late is because we were playing Limbus Company. I was getting my ass beat by chickens, and I would have played longer because I want to know who wins the cook-off, but you know, I have obligations. I can't just play video games all day, I guess. That's not true. We're precious friends. Pacifica's the one who brought me out of my room, you know? Me? The chief silently nods. Why did Pacifica bring me out of my room? Is it because she needed me, or just anybody with great physical strength? It can't possibly be the latter. We delivered a letter today. That's something we do every so often. We've earned a fair bit of trust, see? And it was a letter from the church to you-know-who. Before I realized it, I'm gritting my teeth. The palm of my hands hurts too since I'm clenching my fists and digging my nails into my skin classic. My coat's moist with a strange sweat. I feel so uncomfortable, I let out a groan. What was the letter about? How should I know? We just delivered it, but I can hazard a guess. On second thought, never mind. Oh, do I turn left here? Out with it. You'll just get mad if I tell you. I can hurl you into a wall again, and I won't hold back this time. I try to be as threatening as possible, and it looks like it worked as the chief begins to speak slowly after a short pause. I just think it's something like, if you want to join us, now's your final chance. First, they form a business partnership with her, and then they seize her sympathizers. That's usually modus operandi, isn't it? That can't be right, can it? Well, that's just my take on it anyway. What a weird take. I don't say anything after that. My head hurts too much. The officer says something and opens the police car door. In front of me is my apartment complex. My headache's getting noticeably worse, but I make a mad dash for my room anyway. The police really is poop. All cops are poop. Amen, Sayoko. She's the best. Thank you, Wolfies. You picked up Final Fantasy VII Rebirth Collector's Edition 2 days early. Sick. Just eat the chicken stuff. Well, you didn't see about that. I mean, Don Quixote tried, just ate them raw, but I don't think it worked, so. As if I'm ever gonna thank you for anything. When I get back to the room, Yara's asleep. Her lips are at the odd sort of volume, where they could neither be called thin nor thick. I can't help but touch them. Sayoko, what are you doing? My fingers leave a tawny trail. Maybe it's mud, maybe it's soot, maybe it's blood. I think this chilly, clean room is a stark contrast to me. I feel out of place here. I'm filthy from crawling on the floor through the fire. I still feel hot. Only now do I notice the burn on the base of my neck. Guess I'll go take a bath. Maybe that'll lighten my mood. That must mean my mood is bad. I suppose I do take a bath whenever I'm in a bad mood. When I take off my clothes and timidly give them a smell, they definitely stink. Like a flea market of bad smells. Ugh, I whisper to myself as I toss every last article of clothing into the washing machine. I then head to the narrow bathtub in my modular bathroom and twist open the hot water faucet. Crap, I curse my own foolishness for not drawing the bath first as I shiver in the cold bathroom with my clothes in the washing machine. If I'd filled up the tub first, I may have just jumped in as is, but as it stands, it just feels kind of wrong to get into a half-filled tub. Cowardly, just get into the half-filled tub. Just get into the tub. You know, there's something nostalgic about a fucked up, just dilapidated bathroom. I kind of miss those. Sayoko is being gay and doing crimes, and we love her. Hell yeah, Poyo. So, the blind girl thing, it's... Novelle should not have laughed at that, right? Like, it wasn't funny. I feel cold. Wait, I've got bath towels, don't I? I turn around and look at the shelf behind me, but the bathroom door opens. Wearing her pajamas, Yoru looks this way in surprise. Whoa. I grab the bath towel on top of the shelf and hide my unsightly self. We may be roommates, we may sleep in the same bed, but we've still got boundaries. And it's Yoru of all people. How could I be comfortable showing myself to her? You're taking a bath too, Sayoko? That's unusual. Well, yeah, I have to every now and then, at least. I got a soily taste in my mouth as I was sleeping, so I realized that I haven't been brushing my teeth lately, so I should probably go do that. Brushing your teeth is important, isn't it? Yeah, apparently your teeth will rot if you don't brush. So, if they lose a tooth, could they go find it in the garbage dump? I bet they could. Yeah, apparently your teeth will rot if you don't brush. Huh, that's kind of scary. I kind of like these awkward conversations we have. It's familiar and relaxing. Like a pair of shoes you've broken in. I got a little dirty myself, so I need to clean up my body. There's something I'd like to talk about once I'm done taking a bath. She caught me by surprise, but this could actually be a big chance for me now that I think about it. It's almost on our obligatory curfew, where ghosts cannot maintain consciousness. What I have to tell Yoru isn't easy to talk about, and I don't know how to follow it up once I'm done. That's why it's reassuring that I can rely on on Dawn to forcibly bring any and all conversation to a close. It's a little unfair, I know. I figure I'll warm up my courage in the bath, but as soon as that idea crosses my mind, Yoru nonchalantly speaks up. No, it's fine. We can talk. We can talk here. You can go ahead and take your bath as we talk, Sayoko. Huh? The tub's gonna overflow. Whoa. Enjoy. Urged by Yoru, I head to the full to the brim bathtub and plop my body into the water. After a second of thinking, I shut the curtain. Even I need my privacy sometimes, you know. The scent of fresh steam billows up from below my face. Even when I'm in an unknown town in some faraway country, this alone remains the same. Even when I've become something as incomprehensible as a ghost. On the other side of the curtain, I can hear yours start to I can't read! I can't read! My back hurts, my stomach hurts, I couldn't sleep, can't take a nap, my headphones got tangled up in my chair. I cannot get my shit together. I let out a long sigh. Hey, Yoru, can you hear me? Oomph, Yoru grunts. I guess that means she can hear me. I bet if they forget they lost a tooth, it'll come back. That's how injuries work. Watching that scene again made me feel so guilty. I don't know why. Earlier today, Pacifica called me on the phone and said she had something important to talk about. So I should go over to her house. You've had a help strike coming. I should have woken you up so you could come too. That's what I was thinking, but she said to come alone. I guess it'd be less dangerous if something happened along the way and I was alone. Well, something did indeed happen, which is why I'm bringing this up now. It's a good thing that I didn't bring Yoru with me. I didn't catch that, but you want to know what happened next, huh? When I got to Pacifica's house, nobody was home. And like an idiot, I fell asleep, and when I woke up... Has she not realized that she was absolutely 100% drugged? I fall silent for a moment, or rather, I can't find it in me to keep talking. I recall that moment of despair. I've got a thick skin and a thick skull to boot. At least that's how I've always seen myself. When I think about the despair and hopelessness I felt that moment I woke up, the back of my throat clenches and I can't get any words out. Everything. Burn, room, I... Perhaps catching on to my current state, Yoru stops brushing her teeth. The pathetic sound of my wheezing echoes through the bathroom. I lose track of the passage of time after that. The sound of rustling clothes mixes with the sound of my heavy breaths. The curtain opens. Excuse me, can you scooch in a bit? What? A fully naked Yoru steps into the bathtub, pushing me a little to the side. This is just seeping Nana. Why is everyone freaking out about feet? Yeah, Poyo, that's precisely. That is precisely what's going on here. The excess water gushes out with a hearty splash. It seems kind of wasteful. This is so Nana. God. I'm gonna make y'all suffer through that for Cinema Saturday, just so you know. This is one of those remove the steam moments. Why? We share a bed, so why not a bath too? See, that's what that's what Hachi is saying. You sleep together, you bathe together, you kiss. You'd think, by all accounts, that you're gay, right? But, well, you know, Nana's sad. Let's lay together, bare our skin together, so we can lay bare the truth together. That is very gay. and so incredibly sweet. I will die. You know, that, showing skin to each other in a friendly way thing you told me about, Sayoko? That's so weird. It's not weird, it's adorable. It might be weird, but I don't mean anything weird by it. You're overthinking things, Sayoko. Anyway, let's move on. Whenever Yoru talks, a fresh but artificial mint scent tickles my nose. I don't remember telling her about that cultural tidbit. In fact, it feels more like a cultural tidbit between boys, if anything. But maybe I'm just upset that I can't remember telling her about it. Tell me everything that happened. I want to know. This bathtub wasn't made for two. Our legs are touching. I can feel her body heat, which is a little lower than the heat of the water. To keep my eyes from wandering, I look at my knees. I've got a scrape. When I woke up, everything was on fire. I was scared. So there are things even you're afraid of, huh, Sayoko? Of course there are. Lots of them. That must have been a scary experience. Yoru's hand moves underneath the surface. Her fingertips crawl around my calf like a ghost without a place to go. You've been saving guns underneath the bed, right? I've got a few, at least. Where's she going with this? I was organizing them earlier, and I found one gun that looked familiar. What do you mean? It was the big gun that Pacifica used the other day to shoot that what's-his-face guy. I do remember that gun. Pacifica swiped it off of Mort when he suddenly rushed into her house the other day. She did say this thing's dangerous, so I'll keep it in the vault until it disappears by itself, didn't she? My fingertips feel cold, even though the water's warm. It was an unusual gun, for sure, but maybe that's one's just a doppelgunner. Hello, Hello, Snow. Oh my god, I can't talk. Oh, you're gonna watch Nana Sans? Do it. You should probably take a bath, Snow. Baths are fun. Whoever translated this game deserves a medal. I agree. Also, this is just beautiful. I'm a sucker for stuff like this. All soft and tender and sweet. Just like intimate in like just a nice real way. It's not like overly sappy. I don't know. I love it. They're probably just similar guns. I mean, they are mass-produced, after all. I got scared thinking why Pacifica would give that gun to one of those hooligans. So scared, I couldn't mention it. Maybe she needed the money or something. Yeah, hopefully it's something like that. Okay, your turn, Sayoko. Uh-huh. You don't have to talk if you don't want to, but I think talking things through will help you feel a little better. That's my opinion, as a specialist, at least. Hey, what's that supposed to mean? I'm fine, but I just suck at talking, so I might. I'm sorry. In slow, stuttered words, I managed to tell her what happened after that. How the chief happened to come to my rescue and the unpleasant things he told me after that. If we were talking anywhere else besides the bathtub, I might have withheld several details or exaggerated the number of men threefold. And I definitely wouldn't have told her about what I heard from the chief. But the warmth of the water and the sensation of your skin makes me feel so relaxed. And, well, bare. And I can't help but bear the truth. I see, that must have been rough. I was scared, but just a little. That's so sweet. Are you still scared? Just a little. I see. Yoru starts stirring, and for some reason, she strokes her wet fingers through my hair. I think I'll take a break from my medical practice for a while. I softly gasp at Yoru's declaration, because I had a feeling we'd have to talk about that once we got out of the bath. But it took her so much work to get that job. I don't want to take it away from her. Even someone as dense as me can tell that Yoru thoroughly enjoys that job. But she might be the next thing to go. I was ready to protect her, even if it meant taking away the only joy in her life. Even if it meant making her hate me. I'm sorry. You have nothing to apologize for. But in the end, I didn't need to tell her to quit her job. I didn't have to make her hate me. It's such a relief. It feels like a weight's been lifted off my shoulders.
Sayoko,
Yes?
I'm so sleepy.
Yeah, me too. Yoru's droopy eyes look quite sleepy indeed. Mine must look just like hers. I see, the sun must be starting to rise beyond these small bathroom walls. Ghosts are creatures of the night, and therefore not allowed to be awake in the light of day. That's why we inevitably grow tired and fall asleep.
I guess this is fine every now and then.
We're too tired to even get out of the bathtub. Whether we like it or not, our senses seem to dissolve into the bath water as we doze off to sleep. The situation reminds me of something. Oh, right, a double suicide. Okay. Nothing bad will ever happen, Gab. Please stop lying to me. Death dissolves the boundary between the two of us as we melt into a puddle together and disappear. It's a fairly blessed feeling, to be honest. It sure beats the feeling of decaying in isolation, at least. She's my other half. I have to protect her, at least that's how I feel. And just like that, it's morning, I think. I love that entire scene. That was so beautiful. My little heart. When a major event happens, it's not the event itself that changes us. What changes us is the new normal brought upon us by it. If I were to become someone completely different tomorrow, then both I and everyone else around me would be able to notice. But that's not what actually happens. We change so slowly, nobody notices. By the time you do notice, you've already changed past the point of no return. I'm walking through the garbage dump again today. Because if Pacific and Anya are back, then they should show up here. But they haven't come back. Either they didn't die, or I just missed their revival. The attacks have stopped, both at home and on the streets. But I have no idea why. Were the assailants after those two all along? It's a little typo. No, that can't be. They had to have been after either me or Yoru. Something changed that night. The Pacifica's house burned down, but I don't know what, and that frustrates me. But it's not like being frustrated about it will help me figure it out. How long should I keep Yoru locked up in that room? I walk a lap around and then another lap for good measure. Looks like I'm coming home empty-handed again today. I see a black luxury car parked out beyond the garage dump gate. I love the little window roll down. It's such a small thing, but it's so cute. The rear seat window opens slowly.
Sayoko,
Good evening.
it sure is cold. Come on in before you freeze.
Oh, thanks. Good evening. Good evening to you too, Miss Met. Good God, I cannot talk.
How did it go today?
I shake my head.
I see. How's your roommate?
Things are a little awkward since I said something mean. While I'm out here walking freely, Yoru's unable to work because of me. Unlike me, she's unable to defend herself, so she can't walk outside alone. She has enough money for the time being, but it won't last her forever. There's a lot of tension over various things right now, which is why we haven't talked much recently. I told this to Renja earlier, and it looks like she remembers.
I see. Things must be rough for you, too.
Tough for you two. Good God. There have been several difficulties. That's one way to put it. Stop with the ominous smiley faces. Renja and of course Miss Met have been picking me up by car here every few days lately. I touch the luxurious leather seat with the palm of my hand. Leather, the dead good, maybe. I'm sorry for making you drive all the time, Miss Met. You can drive next time then. Just a joke.
Your jokes are boring. You'd be better off just not telling them.
Renja snaps at Miss Met with a spine-chillingly cold voice, unlike the playful, loving banter that Pacifica uses when rebuking Anya. I'm sorry.
What do you want? To get in the way of my fun? To be a part of the conversation?
No, ma'am.
Right, that should be obvious.
My apologies.
Don't do it again.
Renja turns to me and says, sorry about that. Her voice is so warm, it's confusing me. It's ominous, even. What exactly is the relationship between Renja and Miss Met? It seems like a completely anachronistic master and servant relationship. I just can't see what's binding these two together. That said, Yor and I might seem like that too. But at the very least, the two of us are friends who are close in age. So are these two friends? It certainly doesn't look like it.
I'm tired, Sayoko. I worked so hard.
Renja plops down onto my lap from beside me. As I stare at her in confusion, she responds with a wink and a bashful giggle. Renja's sudden behavioral shift sends shivers down my spine. It's ghastly, dreadful, and yet endlessly charming. My eyes twitch, my head spins. I think something like this has happened before. Not that I have any intention of trying to remember right now.
I'm quite used to being called unreasonable, but I had to yell today.
Renja must be scary when she yells. I hope I never have to see her yell. At work?
Yeah, we were on our way back from work today. I figured you'd blow all my frustration away once I saw you, Sayoko.
I'm not that good.
We don't know our own worth, Sayoko. We can only deal with the worth given to us by others.
I can feel Renja's fingers unbuttoning my coat. She slides her chilly hand underneath my inner sweater and slides her fingers on top of my underwear. Renja?
I want to become bigger and stronger. I've been holding myself back for so long. I've been trying to get myself free. I've been trying so hard, you know?
That tickles.
You want me to stop? No, I don't want to do as I'm told.
Renja even removes my underwear and traces her fingers against my side. Her cold skin makes me shiver.
Why would I want to listen to people who don't listen to me?
Renja pinches my side hard. Ow, stop that.
No, not until you do as I say.
Renja peers into my eyes. There's a discerning glint in her eyes that seems to peer into the depths of my thoughts. And beyond the glint burns the flames of hatred. At least that's the impression I get. What do you want me to do?
I want you to accept what I'm about to tell you.
I don't know if I can until I hear it.
I want to give you a place where you belong, and that place is by my side.
I do have a place where I belong, you know? Well, I normally wouldn't say that. That's at least what I think. I don't know why I can't say it. It seems like such an important thing. This girl's dangerous. But I knew that from the very beginning, didn't I? The whirring wind outside the window sounds so much louder. Neither of us say a word. But for completely different reasons. Renja's silent because she's confident she's got the upper hand, and I'm the exact opposite.
Do you know how long I've been holding myself back? Don't you feel like it's time for something to change?
I should probably decline. My sense of reasoning barely manages to hold out. But I have to ask Yoru.
I don't think that she's so important. Makes you wonder why the priest is so worked up about her.
I don't get what you're saying.
I know you do.
How? She tightens her grip on my side. All I can do is wince and try to endure it.
Must everyone belittle me? Even you?
No, that's not it. Ahem. I snap back to reality when I hear Miss Met clear her throat. Someone's banging on the window. It would seem they have business with us. Jesus Christ? Jesus fucking Christ? Oh my god? Duh. Sans, you need to settle down. Oof.
Just do the usual. You love doing things by the book, don't you? What's wrong? What makes you think there's some sort of exception this time? If you want to interrupt me, just say so.
It's someone from the church.
The church.
Renja gasps, gasps, and looks up. Sure enough, it would seem someone from the church is indeed on the other side of that rear seat window behind me. I've got a bad feeling about this. I twist my neck a little past its comfort zone. Ah! Clara jump scare!
Do you know her, Sayoko? If so, I have doubts about who you choose to associate with.
No, I swear to God. Poor Clara. Sayoko's been dodging her all this time, please. Just throw her a bone. Just a little. Give her a little attention. She deserves it. She's so sweet and adorable.
Very well, keep driving. I've had enough of this discussion.
The car resumes driving without a sound. I wonder where we're going. The entire world is empty, save for the sound of the tires pushing through the snow. As I shrink back in my seat, I feel like I have no right to autonomy whatsoever.
You can take your time to think. We've got all the time in the world, don't we, Sayoko?
Renja's right. We do have all the time in the world. Are you asking me if I'd like to work at your sweet shop? Renja has an advantage here. She's confident that I'll cave eventually.
I sure am, Sayoko. Why don't we work together?
I look long and hard at Renja's perfect smile. The car stops. Outside the window is a familiar sight. Apparently, we were driving back to the apartments. Renja motions for me to go ahead and get out of the car. Is it okay if I give it some thought?
Of course, if you ever feel up to it, just tell me, okay? I'll ask you again myself, though, obviously.
Okay, see you later then. As soon as I take my first step outside, I hear her voice again.
Wait. I know the answers to everything, or rather, maybe 80% of what you want to know. Perhaps you'll learn everything I know if you become mine.
Ugh. Evil girl! Evil! Good God. The sudden sound of the car taking off makes me stagger and do an odd little tap dance. The ground might be a little muddy, but it's nowhere near that unstable. It must be my own dizzy senses. I've felt this sensation before. Why am I doomed to remember the discomfort and anxiety that I felt when the weird old man said those weird old things? This sensation is telling. It's telling me that the secrets Renja's referring to are the same ones that the old man did. I feel hesitant. It's so frustrating to be tempted with bait like this. But I don't think I can help it. After all, this whole time, I was able to convince myself that the old man was just spouting crazy nonsense. But Renja's one of the wisest, most rational people I know. If it comes from her, I don't think I can write it off as a simple delusion. Another thing of concern is that the majority of ghosts aren't interested in these secrets. But why not? It's hard to understand why you wouldn't be interested in knowing why you're here. Unless, that is, they all already know. Does everyone know these things? Am I the only one left in the dark? I'm so happy for Blackjack. Evil or misunderstood? Evil! Evil! Anyone who's mean to Sayako is evil in my book. I go back to my room, hesitating if I should talk to Yoru about all this. Turns out there's no need for me to hesitate. I can't talk to her even if I wanted to. The room's a mess, and Yoru's gone. Ah? That wasn't a cute in-between like usual. My eyes start spinning. My rough breathing grows so hot and out of control, I strip off my sweater. I pull out hairs, but nothing I do can cool me down. Yeah, what she said. I let out something between a grunt and a scream, praying that this is all just a bad dream as I turn the room inside out in the faint hope that Yoru's hiding somewhere. Now that I think about it, we never got that door replaced. Sure, I'm at least partially at fault for leaving this room by myself for so long despite the situation. But we haven't even done anything recently. I've lost both Pacifica and Anya. I thought the situation was at a stalemate. I thought that there was nothing more that they could take from me. Pacifica and Anya haven't come back. Will Yoru not come back either? Then what'll happen to me? There's a cabinet toppled on the floor. Yes, the one Yoru was given, damn it! One of the drawers has been yanked out, its contents scattered on the ground. There's the bag of sweets I got from Renja. Unlike the simple sweets Mr. Patel sells at his cafe, these sweets are a very cute assortment that girls adore. I tear open the packaging and toss one of the sweets into my mouth at random. I guess it's a macaron. I remember what Renja once said. Eat sweets when you're tired. Renja sweets are a little special. When you eat them, they make you really happy. Your body feels warm and relaxed. Are those, special candies? Are those, Well, hello, Powder. Welcome. Yeah, Poyo. It appears that my day is not getting better. And I have a feeling this is only gonna get sadder. Crack? I don't know. That doesn't sound like crack to me. Hell yeah, drugs. I mean, oh no, drugs. Don't do drugs. Drugs are bad. That's what I mean. Maybe there's a little bit of alcohol in them. And they're exactly what I need right now. Next up is some sort of rolled cream cake. The one after that is undoubtedly chocolate. I just devour the sweets one after another as if to drown out the sadness and despair. Yeah, what she said. A piece of caramelized onion. Onion? Almond! Not onion. Not that caramelized onions are bad, but it's almond. Gets caught in my throat. I try to get a drink of water, but I can't. This is so cool. Yeah. I believe they had drugs in them, huh? I collapse limply onto the floor, my body so powerless. I can't even react to the coldness of the floor touching my face. I just aimlessly roll around. It's like my brain is turned into clay. Everything buried deep within my chest just disappears. Even my heart. In any case, I'm just blankly staring at my empty shelf. And it feels so comforting. How nice. It's good to relax. Very good. Don't think of it as not being able to think. Think of it as not needing to think. Wow, it's so much more pleasant to think about not thinking like that. I cackle. I can't open my mouth, but I cackle. I'm enjoying myself so much, I'm going to cry from pleasant sadness. That's kinda strange, but it's sadly pleasant. Sweets are amazing, huh? They make you feel so happy. If only everyone could be happy. Happy forever. If only we could just all give up on everything. Amen. I feel you, Sayoko. Is there any point in Ghost fussing over anything? Oh, she's going through it. Strange, everything fades into darkness.
Miss Ninja? Miss Ninja?
Yoru?
What?
I jump as if a switch had just been flipped, and right before me is Clara. Oh, it's just you. I feel like I was dealt the worst card out of a deck made only of bad cards. I even considered just going back to sleep. Poor Clara! Those must be some fucking good sweets for her to be rich enough to get an anti-gravity wheelchair or whatever. Who do I think is coming to Guilty Gear Strive? We all know I'm still holding out hope for Zappa. Yes, Dwugs. Poor Clara. Leave. The sweets had cast a temporary shadow over all my problems, but now it feels like their magic has faded away. My consciousness is clear. The mad frustration that took over me is coming back. My palms are suddenly sweaty. In the span of 1 second, I curse myself 9,999 times. I ask myself what I think I'm doing. I answer myself, how should I know, dumbass? And I cry to myself 9,999 times. As she watches me, a confused yet confident Clara points her index finger at me. The nerve of her. Eep! So I break that finger. Can you blame me? I said leave. Don't you get it? Clara flinches at my threatening shout. She even takes a step backwards. But then she stops. Frustratingly, her eyes are shining with a sense of duty.
It doesn't hurt as bad as getting shot, so I'm fine. My finger will heal. Just tell me why you're hanging out with that sweet seller.
I'm just friends with her now, that's all.
Hanging out with the sweet seller is like admitting that you're a bad person, you know?
What's so bad about her?
I mean, she's a sweet seller, you know? There can't be anything good about her.
What's wrong with making sweets? What, does the god of your church prohibit cookies or something?
Cookies and bad drugs are two completely different things.
Oh, poor Clara. Wait, I feel like you just said something weird.
You're the weird one. Ow, that really hurts.
By sweet seller, you do mean Renja, right?
Yes, her. She's well known. She's kind of a bigwig with lots of subordinates.
A sweet seller is someone who makes sweets and sells them for a profit, right?
Yeah, but people who sell bad drugs are also called sweet sellers, aren't they?
Wait, I didn't know that. What's so bad about her? Sayaka says about the girl who sexually assaulted her just now. Classic.
People who use sweets to refer to bad drugs, don't they? Using kid-friendly words as a stand-in for something else. What's that called again?
I didn't know that.
Did you take her at face value when she said she was a sweet seller?
Yeah? Don't laugh. You want me to break another finger?
I just didn't know you had such a cute childish side to you, Miss Ninja.
How can you expect a foreigner to know such local euphemisms?
I can kind of relate.
Claire's finger is starting to swell and turn an odd color, but she keeps laughing anyway. Thanks to that, I'm able to process some of my thoughts. Look, it just sounds like there was weed in those sweets. I wouldn't sweat it. And you were given those? You say thank you, Renja. So is Renja like the sweet seller boss of this town or something?
Yes. Oh, but I don't mean she bakes the most cookies in town or anything, okay?
Damn it. I recall the time I raided the church. I was able to bribe the guard with candy. He was looking forward to enjoying them. The reason it worked was because I somehow instinctively knew that sweets have spread throughout town, even among people who guard the church. I probably knew about it before I lost my memory. The sweet seller and the church share some common ground, but they've kept even a devout believer like Clara in the dark about it. I suddenly smell something suspicious here. Looks like I'll have to pay Renja a visit. I wouldn't want to pay her a visit. She's kind of scary. I'm going to take a nap.
I think you should clean up the room first.
Clean it up for me. Just don't touch anything under the bed. You can have some of my saved up sweets when you're done. I toss myself into bed without waiting for Clara to respond. I quickly slip into a genuine, full-blown sleep. Fuck weed brownies. We selling weed candies now. Poyo, the entire world has beat you to the punch on that one.
That's terrible. Even Yoru?
Renja looks deeply concerned, as if she didn't have something to do with this, trying to take away everyone important in Sayoko's life to isolate her and have her all to herself. I don't know, maybe I'm stretching. Renja looks deeply concerned. Looks. Taking a nap was the right choice. I'm calm enough to hide my impatience and irritation. I heard everything.
Everything about what, exactly?
Everything about your work. You have a real interesting job, Renja.
I guess the cat's out of the bag. Yes, I'm more of a bad girl than my appearances suggest.
Renja speaks with a smile as if nothing has changed. It's almost chillingly eerie how normal she's acting. But it's not enough to break me. I'm no saint. I'm in no position to lecture anyone on their life choices. But I cannot support yours, so...
You're saying you can't work with me, is that correct?
Sorry. But Sayoko, being a drug dealer would just make you even cooler. Mwah, Poyo doesn't know. She really is a gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss character. She really is.
I made sure not to let you see them, but I have many subordinates. I'm sure they can help you find your roommate, so won't you let us help you?
No thanks, I'll search for Yoru myself.
Is it because I'm a bad girl?
I can't say that has nothing to do with it.
There are two types of ghosts in this town. The first are, honestly, trash. They can't question any abnormalities this town has.
Don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it.
And obviously, I don't mean it's against their philosophy or religion. I mean they're genuinely unable to notice that anything's abnormal. You could explain it to them, but they wouldn't really understand. To them, they would just be empty words. The other type are ghosts who recognize the chaotic state of this town is in. Those who know exactly what this town is. For ages, every ghost has been either one or the other. But you're special, Sayoko. You notice the town's abnormalities, yet you know nothing. Instead, you compensate your lack of knowledge with an excess of power. You're incomplete. That's what's fascinating about you.
Gee, thanks.
I want to make you complete. And together, we need to dethrone the authority of the priest and his church. And to do it properly, we need to turn this humiliating situation on its head. He doesn't have all that power. He shouldn't have all that power. The two of us should. And to achieve this goal, I need peace of mind. That you won't ever betray me.
You're not going to try and persuade me now, are you?
If you're not with me, then you might as well just say you don't want to know the truth. For all eternity, in either case, just promise me you won't get in the way of my work. So, what'll it be?
Astonishingly, I hesitate. I should be refusing her offer without a second thought. But I just can't bring myself to say, I don't need to know. I've always been an outsider. I've been left in the dark as to why the priest detains Yoru in the church, or why Pacifica and Anya are gone. And it's because of my complete ignorance. The biggest example of that ignorance is this whole sweet cellar business. If I only had the power, the proper knowledge, jeez. It's like we're living in a ghost utopia. A Ghostpia season 1 even? That's crazy. If I only had the proper knowledge, I could recognize so many more things by myself. My greed for knowledge has dulled my judgment. I realize I've broken into a cold sweat. My eyes are wandering around pathetically. It's like I'm searching for something to help me out of this mess. My eyes stop on something. And that something is, in a sense, the answer I've been looking for. Ooh. Ooh. That was cool. That was so cool. God, this whole visual novel is such a fucking class act. God. Liar. And I only catch sight of that something by complete coincidence. There's a dresser in the corner of Renja's room, and on the dresser is a familiar tube of lipstick. Or rather, the lipstick-shaped ultra-small gun straight out of a spy movie that Pacifica ordered from Anya. A super cool weapon for the super cool Pacifica. Even Yoru was ecstatic when she saw it in action. If I'm not mistaken, Anya was in the process of mass-producing them. If Renja has one, then who exactly is she? Come to think of it, one of the assassins who broke into my room also had a gun that was identical to one in Pacifica's possession. I don't want to think any further than that, but my brain calmly connects the dots on its own, forming a disturbing outline.
Oh, what's wrong?
That lipstick over there.
You're interested in makeup? We have more pressing things to talk about than makeup, don't we, Sayoko?
Renja looks at me incredulously, as if she has no idea why I would bring up the lipstick right now. She's playing dumb. If I'd come here without getting a wink of sleep first, I probably wouldn't have had the confidence to do anything about it or even notice it. Her acting looks quite natural. That's right, her acting looks quite natural indeed. Mind if I take a closer look at it?
Be my guest.
I pick up the lipstick with slow, wide movements. It's unused. The seal is still intact, I see. So the one Pacifica used back then was a prototype, huh? Perhaps this is a production unit from the first manufactured lot. Mind if I try using this lipstick?
You sure can be stubborn sometimes. Fine. Keep wasting time then.
I'm moderately surprised. It seems Renja doesn't know what this thing actually is. If she did, she wouldn't be keeping up this farce. Even if she were playing dumb, she gains nothing by allowing me to pick this thing up. Is she confident that if I suddenly shot her with this thing, I'd miss? Is she confident that even if I did hit her, she'd be fine? No, wait. What if I'm just a big idiot and this isn't a lipstick-shaped gun and it's just plain old lipstick? Suddenly, a short and sweet thought, sweeter than any sweet sold by a sweet seller, flashes in the back of my mind. It's so short and sweet and stupid it makes me smile to myself. Renja lets out a displeased humph. My nose is stuffy. Also, Renja seems like a nice person. I don't know about that. I mean, maybe. I decided to take a gamble on that thought. I think I'm starting to get it. There was a fundamental flaw in my deduction. This isn't proof that Pacifica's colluding with her. In fact, I dare say it's proof that there's no collusion at all. Lipstick was taken from Pacifica, maybe even stolen. If someone's holding her captive, it wouldn't be a surprise if they stole a cosmetic bag from her too.
Are you that interested in the lipstick? I received it from one of my subordinates. A small present, I suppose. I'm a good boss, aren't I?
I look into Renja's eyes. She seems to be confused. I can tell she's losing a little confidence in her discernment. Like, why is this girl so obsessed with that lipstick? Did I miss something?
Are you that interested in some run-of-the-mill lipstick?
Sitting before me is no longer the mysterious, delicate, beautiful girl I once knew. Just one measly ghost who can't even stand up. Sayako, you can't say that. Jesus. Just make fun of her because she can't walk. I open the seal on the lipstick. I see, so you move the bottom part like this, and... Renja, the way you try to make friends is incredibly flawed. The recoil's heavier than I expected. I was aiming for her right arm, but I hit her left leg. So much for accuracy. Though I guess you shouldn't expect much from a gun that's designed for form over function. If you want me to be your friend, just say so. You don't have to erase all of my existing friends. But in any case, it's exactly what I need right now. Give me back my friends.
No.
Suddenly, my vision shakes. Something hit me in the back of the head. The concussion lasts only for a few seconds, but it looks like that's all they needed. I feel an intense discomfort at the nape of my neck. The pain only comes a second later. I reflexively reach back. Something stabbing me, something with a characteristic shape identifiable by touch alone. A syringe. Ugh. Damn it. I walked right into that one. I cursed my lack of precaution as I instinctively pull out the syringe. When it tumbles to the floor, I notice it's several times bigger than the ones they use for vaccines or for drawing blood. It sends shivers down my spine. As far as I can tell, the cylinder is still about a third full. Can't read. So it's not like all of it's been injected inside me. Not that that's any consolation, mind you.
That's our flagship product. Its sweet flavor makes it popular with girls. It's also popular with boys since it can be subtly mixed into food and drink.
I don't like the implication of that. That is not a good. I don't like that. I do not like that. Not even a little. A shock runs through the back of my eyeballs down to my hip bone, or rather than an impact, it's more of a sudden loss of strength.
They say the closing years of the Great War were a tragic time, you see.
No matter how hard I try to brace my legs, my vision sways and sinks. Hold on, Renja. I gotta look at this stuff.
God, this is so cool.
It's so cool!
As a result, that painkiller saw heavy usage during that period. It was already an old drug at the time, and there are several conflicting theories as to why it made such a resurgence. Perhaps it was because its use and side effects were well known, or perhaps it was due to collusion between pharmaceutical companies. Who knows what the truth is?
I thought my legs were supporting my body weight, but before I know it, I'm on my knees.
In any case, it's a potent drug. At low doses, it acts as a sedative, granting soldiers relaxation and sleep. At high doses, it acts as a tranquilizer to neutralize neurotic soldiers.
Before I know it, my upper body has collapsed and I'm down to my hands and knees.
Well, it wasn't the full amount, but that should do it.
Regardless, I'm able to maintain my vision, so I keep watching.
Isn't that right, Met?
Yes, ma'am. In her hands is a familiar silver object. Anya told me all about it. It's the soldier control device used in the closing years of the Great War.
Normally, you should have been in a comatose state long ago. But you shrugged it off. You've consumed enough quantities over a long enough period of time to have grown physical dependence.
Huh.
And yet, you've shown absolutely no signs of addiction. Our ninja's just resistant to poison.
What are you gonna do to me?
This.
Ah! You know, just the... I don't even know what to say. Just that I'm impressed. I'm impressed. Smet runs a scalpel across my wrist, at the softest spot, a little above the base. Instead of pain, I feel fear, and by then the blood's already flowing. Miss Smet seems so skilled at this. She must have done this many times before. I try to shake her off my arm. I shouldn't have done that. It only causes the blood to overflow even more. My body's limp from fear, despair, helplessness. The lukewarm blood spilling down my wrist doesn't even feel like it's my own blood. Miss Smet plops the silver pill bug into the incision. The pill bug makes a whirring startup noise as it tries to crawl inside. It stings. If this is a dream, I wish I'd wake up. And yet I can't peel my eyes away from the nightmare.
It'll take some time for it to reach your spine, so let's have a nice chat while we wait.
I see, so once that happens, I'm out, huh? You just want to enjoy watching me suffer until then, Renja? I can feel your sadistic gaze pouring down on me. If the drugs didn't work, then maybe this thing won't work either. I'm not sure if I actually said that. I can't clearly feel my lips. It's as if the whole world is behind frosted glass. But at least I can think clearly on my side of the frosted glass. According to what Renja's saying, my body seems to eliminate drugs faster than normal. With a little bit of time, maybe I can regain free use of my body. But that little bit of time is the problem. The pill bug isn't moving very fast, but my arm isn't very long either.
Perhaps. Sounds like an experiment worth.
It's so cool! Just look at it! This is so fucking cool! I am in awe. I don't hear what she says after that, or rather, I hear it, but only as disjointed sounds. I'm only able to catch the nuance.
The way I make friends is flawed. That's none of your business. Why make friends with someone who already has friends? That's like setting yourself up for number 2 at best and racing to the bottom. No thanks. I'm nobody's number 2 and I don't want to be below anyone else.
My ears are ringing, like what happens after you've heard a loud sound. Like a bomb went off next door. Something squirming on the other side of the frosted glass. My consciousness sticks its face up against the glass to try and see what's going on out there. But that's just a metaphor. My consciousness doesn't have a face or eyes. All it can do is feel. I push those feelings out of my mouth in the form of words. It's true that there were rumors about you, but in reality, you were into boys. You were 13, it was winter, speaking with your dad, acting friendly, needing to get some more medicine for mom. All you could do was watch.
What are you trying to get at?
I'm only tracing out the silhouettes behind the frosted glass. Honestly, I don't know what any of this means. I keep talking, as if to feel things out with the tip of my finger. God, the writing is just so good. Ugh. This... Never in my life. I gotta stop talking. Just read. Your dad always was so apologetic to you because he thought it was his fault that your legs turned out that way. And that you didn't have a mother anymore. It was an uncomfortable way to comfort you. Everyone respected your personality. That's why you never bothered to learn about equal relationships. At least that's what you thought, didn't you, you coward?
What's wrong with using the weapons you've been given?
It just keeps getting blurry. It's so cool. I'm not myself. I wouldn't say things like this. Your first prey was the kind, chubby, older, who wore thick glasses. You knew you had good looks, but you were afraid to use it to sway the opposite sex, since you didn't know much about them. So you disguised yourself with a made-up character. How could I do something like this? How can I expose someone's weakness, criticize them for it, and make sure they can't return to the status quo?
No, I'm not that weak.
Yes, you are.
You don't know me.
I am you. We both are. I hear Renja raise her voice in anger. And yet I think I'm smiling, even though it's not funny at all. I want to stop already. But I can't. This is so cool. I'm losing my mind. It's so cool. But I can't take my eyes off the faint silhouettes. I can't stop tracing them with my mind's finger. The sights I see are so cruel, they make me shudder. Which is why I can't peel my eyes away. A garage floor, a shard of glass piercing my hand. The helplessness of being unable to stand up.
Met?
The encroaching red flames, despair.
Met, shut this girl up!
I snap back to my senses when I hear that voice, as well as a short, high-pitched electronic sound, like that of a cell phone ringtone. I try to remember what I saw, but like hand sanitizer, it just gives me a tingly feeling before slipping through my fingers and evaporating into thin air.
It's me. What?
Renja's in chaotic disarray. The fact that I can tell that means I must have recovered a little. I chuckle to myself. I'm starting to feel my lips again. Small signs that I'm recovering. It's funny to think that I got directly injected with tranquilizers and shrugged it off this easily. It's like I'm superhuman. Super ghost, I mean.
There's a bit of trouble at the factory. I'll go there directly. Take care of things here, Met. Make no mistakes.
Yes, ma'am.
Promise me?
I swear my afterlife on it.
If we had known things would turn out like this, you should have implanted the device closer to the spine. If you did, then I'd be going to work with my new friend Sayoko by now.
You will tomorrow for sure. Renja smiles for a moment. I don't know if she's regained her composure or if she's just bluffing. Either way, I'm impressed.
See, you can say something good every now and then. Once you're done here, you two can see me together.
Miss Met opens the door for Renja to leave, and Miss Met does so. She exposes her back. I need to find a way to get away from her as soon as possible. And find a way to remove this bug. I'm scared of what that's gonna be like. How much time do I have left? It can't be much. Somehow, I managed to lift my upper body. I can move better than I expected, but not as much as I need to. I pick the cosmetic bottle off the dresser and hurl it at Miss Met, with all my might as she turns around at the sound. Miss Met doesn't flinch. She just calmly turns toward me as if it were a roll of toilet paper I threw at her instead of a glass bottle. I need to get up and get out of here. It's at that moment I realize how numb my feet are. It's like I've been sitting on them for hours upon hours. My legs can barely even support my body. If you really care about that girl, you shouldn't keep humoring her like this. You really believe I have any alternatives? Miss Met tackles me when I can't even stand. There's nothing I can do to fight back, especially considering the overwhelming difference in physique. After all the effort I took to get back up, my body ends up back on the floor. There's nothing wrong with dedicating my body and soul to serve her. I would gladly die for her if she simply gave me the word. Most people would never experience such devoted loyalty. Stop. Miss Met straddles me, takes out a gun, and points it at me. I'm confused for a second. Speaking as someone who's been shot to death before, flow of time certainly seems to slow down the moment you're shot. So in other words, this can't actually be taking that much time. In this eternal fleeting moment, I see Miss Met's eyes from behind her long bangs. She's crying. Miss Met drops the gun, only to strangle me with her now open hands. I try to shake her hands off of my neck, but I'm unable to even grab her thick arms. I guess it's because of our weight difference. I've been trying my best to ignore it, but the foreign object in my arm is literally crawling under my skin. It feels like the bug is slammed into my shoulder bone and is trying to make a slow detour. Now that I feel it, it's driving me crazy. I need to do something to distract myself. After all this thinking, I realize something. If Miss Met were seriously trying to strangle me, it wouldn't be like this. I can feel some hesitation in her hands. That said, she's still strangling me. My vision's gradually fading. If I lose consciousness now, I'm sure I'll be a new me by the time I wake up. Right, the gun. The gun Miss Met dropped. I stop trying to grab her arm and instead feel around for the gun, which should have landed somewhere near my side. Obviously, Miss Met notices, takes one hand off my neck so she can keep the gun away from me. It's easier for me to breathe now, but that doesn't change the situation. She tosses the gun out of my reach. It's the end of the line for me. There must be a bug implanted in Miss Met too. That much is certain from the way she speaks. Oh right, what did Anya say that one time again? I take a deep breath while the pressure on my neck is loosened. Well, you tell someone to do something, and they might do it. Tell them don't, and they must not do it. You lay down the rules. I'll be quiet. I won't speak anymore. Miss Met's grip suddenly weakens. Renja's last command was, shut this girl up. I announce my silence, thereby fulfilling that command. Smart! Why do you assume there's any subordinate of hers who isn't chipped already? Yeah. It was a good CG. In other words, at this moment, she's lost her reason to manhandle me. After checking to see if I can move my pinned lower body, I quickly pull out a leg and kick Miss Met in the gut as hard as I can. Great, I can move my body now. Miss Met falls backwards with the gun in her hand, and it's pointed at me. Unlike a robot or a cyborg, these soldiers can think about various aspects of their missions, and can thus violate parts of their orders as long as they uphold the order overall. And that's what Anya said. Living brains have leeway in their decision-making ability. If you think about it logically, what Renja really wants isn't for me to shut up, but to be incapacitated non-lethally. If I die, my body will return to the garbage dump. But what happens to the bug, I don't know. In any case, Miss Met's pointing the gun at me, which means it's of no concern to her if her attack kills me. I'm confident I moved faster than the wind. I grab the round barrel of the automatic pistol. I can clearly see Miss Met reflexively pull the trigger. I'm out of time. But that's perfect. I push the barrel of the gun pointed at me into my shoulder. Sparks fly in the back of my eyes, the back of my head, and of course, my shoulder. Perhaps my whole body is turned into sparks. The taste on the tip of my tongue has got to be the taste of a bullet impact. Damn you! That's so cool! It's so cool! I try to hide the pain with a yell as I drive my still perfectly good left fist into Miss Met's jaw. I feel my fist lands perfectly. No matter how tough you are, I doubt you can keep fighting properly after a direct jolt to the brain. But this is only the beginning. I'm not done yet! I yank up the neck of my sweater and bite down hard on it. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, no. I thrust my fingers into the fresh gunshot wound in my shoulder. The indescribable pain is so intense it sends sparks flying in my eyes. I can't believe I have to gouge out this wound. I wouldn't want other people to hear the groans I'm making. Just a bit more. My fingers touch something hard. It's not bone, it's metal. Get! I can hear the sound of muscle fibers tearing as I pry the bug's legs off my flesh. Wrecked! Get wrecked! She says. God, Sayoko's so cool. Okay, that's the end of that. I hold the silver lump on the palm of my left hand. It stops moving as if to say, now's not the time for work. Perhaps it's detected that it's been exposed to air. I let out a laugh, and then I let out tears. But then I tell myself now isn't the time for either of those things as I refocus my attention. God damn! Miss Met sprawled out on the floor beneath me. I pick the gun up off the floor. I need to incapacitate her. I suppose I should shoot out both of her legs. No, wait, I need to free her from the bug. If I pump her full of lead, she'll wake up in the garbage dump as her true self, won't she? I point the gun at Miss Met's head. It pains my conscience to do it, so I hesitate a little. Stop. So you're awake. Even if you shoot me, I'll still return to her from the garbage dump on my own 2 feet, so there's no point. Miss Met speaks nonchalantly. There's no aggression whatsoever in her voice. In fact, she even sounds somewhat relieved. It doesn't look like Renja actually cares about you to me. What matters is who you care about, not who cares about you. That's what matters to me, at least. Even if she continues to look down on you, I find it acceptable. She must be saying that because she's been brainwashed. That has to be the case. Please be the case. But if you had the choice, wouldn't you want to stop doing this? Unfortunately, reality seems to betray my expectations most of the time. I would, but my desire to be by her side is more important. Serving her is what makes me happy. And this time is no exception. What makes you think that way? I don't understand why you believe in her so much. I had an epiphany one day. I realized that this is what I wanted. If I had to put it into words, I thought, she's beautiful. No objection to that point, correct? You're right about that. Good, we have a near infinite amount of time on our hands. I want to spend that time watching over beauty. Oops. Hang on. There we go. Fucked up. I haven't been able to use that feature. It's so fucking cool. Good, we have a near infinite amount of time on our hands. I want to spend that time watching over beauty. And I found a way to guarantee it, a way to be needed. And it will last for all eternity. I'm an atheist, personally. But there's more than one way to get eternal bliss. If you'd rather stop doing this, then can you really say it makes you happy? It's a luxury to live in a situation that's ideal in all aspects, so it's complicated. Complicated? I'm not good with complicated topics. They tire me. I don't understand what you're saying. I want a simple life. I can't suffer for an eternity like you. So I have no regrets making some sacrifices. Even if it means making others unhappy. Are you unaware of how comfortable it is to live a simple, earnest life, pouring out love to someone without hesitation? If all you want to do is pour out love for someone, you'll tire yourself out one day for sure. Especially when that someone abuses you. But I've lived like this for all eternity. Pouring out my love is my happiness. It's so fulfilling. I find it way more valuable to love than to be loved. She doesn't know what it means to love someone. She's only ever been loved, even though she's so beautiful, so perfect. Her greed gives her the desire to be loved, using any means necessary. That's all she lives for. It's so tragic, it's lovely. I find myself unpleasant. I know my mind is warped and repulsive, but I want to keep doing what I'm doing as long as I can. I don't understand you. But I might be jealous. To have someone precious enough to you that you'd sacrifice your own existence. It must feel like arriving at a terminal station, the end of a long journey, a happy ending. When I think about it like that, I guess I can kind of understand. I'm glad it turned out like this. Miss Met lets out a sigh. I felt threatened, no, scared of you. She wanted you to replace me as her right-hand woman. If she were successful, I would lose my place by her side. I can't spend my eternity as a factory guard like the others. That's the opposite of what I want. The factory. Oh right, the factory. Tell me where it is. I need to hurry. You plan on going with your body in a shape like that? That said, I can't tell you. I've been ordered not to. More importantly, what? I know I've said this already, but please don't kill me. I don't want to lose what she's given me. At the very least, I know that this is what I truly desire. Miss Met says that with a smile. A smile that's too dazzling for me since it's brimming with confidence in her conviction. It's such a beautiful smile. For just a moment, she's as beautiful as Renja. Has Renja ever seen this smile? I'm going. I shoot Miss Met in the right leg. This way, at the very least, she probably won't be chasing after me anymore. Since I shot with my left hand, the recoil feels stronger than expected, causing me to stumble a few steps. I try to think of what exactly I can do with only one arm as I rushed out of Renja's luxurious apartment. Room! To chase after her! Man. Talk about a neighborhood dispute. As I go down the stairs, I touch the bug in my pocket. This thing was a curse for me, but a blessing for Miss Met. It's her bond with Renja. Maybe I could approach Renja pretending to be brainwashed. But then again, since there's a main control unit somewhere, it wouldn't surprise me if there was some sort of indicator showing which receivers are working. Which means I'd be found out instantly. I'd feel so stupid. Clara's still in my room. When she sees my bloody left hand, she lets out a sickeningly cute shriek.
Eep! Eep, she says, Clara.
Like that. When she asks what happened, I consider smacking her, but I manage to hold back the impulse. Instead, I grab her by the shoulder and tell her this. It's a good thing we're friends, huh?
It sure is. We're precious friends.
In my country, there's a cultural tidbit we call, Yakuza Kachikomi.
Oh, that sounds so lovely.
Yes, it is lovely. Excuse me? So what do you say to the two of us? Do a little Yakuza Kachikomi right now. By the way, have you ever shot a pistol? I know you've been shot by one.
Suddenly, I've got a bad feeling about this.
I know, but I want your help, please.
I'll help as long as I don't have to hurt anyone.
Okay then. I suddenly get curious about what time it is, so I rip the duct-taped curtain off the wall. There's a thin line of white starting to form on the sky already. We probably have about an hour left of live time. I set my sights on our goal. I can't help but laugh when I see something unusual in the usual view outside my window. Or, to be more accurate, there's something unfamiliar inside of something familiar.
What's so funny?
I tell the confused Clara it's nothing as I pick up the rope that Yoru bought but never used.
Huh? What?
I tie up Clara's slender body. As you might expect, Clara's got a few questions.
Please explain, what exactly are you planning to do?
Just trust me. You shouldn't trust her, Clara. I love her, but you should not trust her, Clara. Don't do it. I look outside the window again. There's the electric bulletin board that was set there way back when the three of us got together again. But there's a new message scrawled across it. It was Renja, the sweet seller. Pacifica and I are trapped in the factory basement. Please help. Smiley face. How can you not expect me to laugh at that? You got a point. I promise that I'll exceed your expectations. Throughout this whole ordeal, I've been unsure if I could truly trust the people I thought to be my friends. I thought trusting people meant having a peace of mind. I thought choosing to distrust people meant closing my heart to them. But that's too naive. That's such a self-centered way of thinking. My friends are wonderful, lovable, and also dangerous. If they knew I was applying such a naive thought process on them, I'm sure they'd make fun of me. First, there's Pacifica, who earned herself fame and power in this town all by herself. And then there's Anya, who's got the courage and the skills to send a unique SOS signal, even when captured by the enemy. They're both such excellent, reassuring people. It'd be rude for someone like me to even have to consider whether or not to trust them. Those two constantly exceed my expectations using everything they've got. They always have. Now that I think about it, I may have exceeded their expectations as well. That's the definitive thing that ties us together. The fact that we give each other everything we've got. The bickering, the conflicts of interest, the deductions. That made my trust in them falter. All a bunch of poop. Poop, she says. I casually sling an assault rifle on my shoulder and suddenly notice something. That nasty wound has already healed considerably. It's almost as if it were never there. Ghosts can't keep many things. And I've got a particularly strict limit in that regard. I know that from experience. Perhaps the fatal wounds count towards the limit of all the guns I'd keep under the bed have bumped it up past the threshold. It'd be really convenient if that were the case, but is it true? Well, I can just think about it later. Okay, alright. I think that's a great place. I would love to come back on this illustration. In particular. Oh my fucking god. Let me save. I am so completely, I don't even know if I have the words to just, this is like the epitome of what I think visual novels should be as a medium. Like this is it for me. I am so not, I'm not like, is it even, can you possibly do more with the medium than this? Is that even possible? Is there, can you surpass this at any capacity? I just, and it's one of those things that I know I'm gonna run around recommending it to people, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, I don't like visual novels." I'm gonna be like, "Well, you're dumb. You're dumb." Just it's so good. Oh, this is definitely like I fucking love Mamiya, but Mamiya is a very standard visual novel, right? It's very, you know, it's linear. This is linear too, but like it's a very standard visual novel. This takes advantage of the medium at its like absolute capacity. Just all of the visuals are just they're perfect. It bleeds into the UI so seamlessly, and even though it's a little difficult to see on these screens in particular, the framing, that's beautiful, Gab. Mamiya doesn't have intense reaction. Speechless. I'm speechless. This is just, it's genius. It's brilliant. Look, we're not done with it yet. There's clearly going to be like a second part. This is season 1, so there's obviously going to be a season 2, but depending on where we're at by the end of this, I would not hesitate to call it a masterpiece. Just, it's so fucking brilliant. And the little scene with the wheelchair that's giving, you know, like the Revolutionary Girl Utena vibes, and the way it starts blurring, and the dad and the mom, they switch out, and like the syringes in the back, and just the fucking body horror. Like, okay. The illustrations are usually so cute and lovely. Like, even when they're violent, they're really cute, and everything's kind of like stretchy and cartoony and fun, really kinetic. But then you have that scene with the scalpel and the wrist, which is just like, it's gruesome. You get that cool like shaky cam, and everything's a little more gritty and detailed, and it drives home how visceral that is. And then you have like, you know, the narrative, the narration, the writing, uplifting all of that horrific imagery just to where it can be. I'm in love with it. I can't. I'm in love with it. Jesus Christ. when I was reading this for the first time, the wrist CG literally sent shivers down my spine. I love it so much. Just it took so much restraint for me to just keep reading and not take time to just gush about it for every single time it did something cool. And I'm like, I'd be here all day if I did that. You know what, Sans, you should have. Ugh. Goddamn. Don't forget that once you're done, you gotta make
MR
Novell read
Waffles
this. Strap him to a chair and make him read
6969
this via
Cirdix
Clockwork
1.
Orange style.
Remember guys. Renia did nothing wrong.
Poyo, that's confidential information. I think that, yeah, no, if you were, I wouldn't tell you, Poyo. No, yeah, the wrist is, that was good. That was a good illustration. Just, anyway, yeah, no, I'm gonna force this visual novel down Novell's throat. It's like, I'm gonna want to read it again. It's so goddamn good. Ugh. And of course, then I can take time to really sit there and look at everything and not feel the need to like move forward, which is just, and then just the kinetic movements of the camera and just, okay, all right, I need to end stream. I could sit here forever and talk about it, quite frankly. I'm gonna keep his eyes buttered to the end, Poyo. The book is strange, like Clockwork Orange. Don't miss a moment of this experiment. I think I'm doing the song backwards. Yep, just no more legs. Just remove his legs and you know, butter his eyes. As soon as I'm done with this, I'm going to immediately make Novell read it. I can't make him read it now because if I start reading it and I catch up to the point where I am now, I'm gonna want to keep reading, and I have no self-control, none to speak of. Okay, all right, I have to stop. Stream is over. Good night.